Yeah, we are in the midst of yeah.
Hey guys, this is Backdraft and welcome to episode 14 of my Minecraft survival series. Thank you so much for joining me today. In the last episode, we ventured into the new 1.16 Nether and we got all decked out in netherite. So now we are fully netherrited, if that's even a word. So we got all of our tools upgraded to netherite, we got all of our armor upgraded to netherite, and we built ourselves a really nice portal room in our mega base right over here, and we are gonna do a lot more with the 1.16 nether. I have a few plans to do with making the nether a pretty place. Well, as pretty as we can make it. Is, you know, it is kind of a scary place, but as pretty as we can make it, that's the plans that we have. But we're gonna take a step away from the semi-ish new content because I want to do a revamp of a past project, and that is the villager trading hall. So we have our villager breeder working like crazy. There are tons of villagers down in the breeder right now that are ready to be canvassed for trades. Now, what I want to do is I want to be able to upgrade my Silk Touch pickaxe to efficiency 5. And right now, if you check out the efficiency villager that I have that we got on a live stream, he has an efficiency toolbook trade for 30 emeralds, which is ridiculously expensive. So in order to fix this, I don't feel like grinding out efficiency villagers right now. I actually want to do a revamp of this trading post. And what we're going to do is we're going to add a Zombifier. So if you're not aware, you can zombify your villagers after they have their professions and their trades in place, and it is extremely loud in here, I apologize. But you can zombify your villagers, and that will turn them into zombies, I guess, if that wasn't obvious. And once you cure them, you can cure them using a splash potion of weakness and a golden apple. They will then have extreme discounts on all of their trades, and that is what I want. So underneath the trading post, as we just saw, I'm going to build a Zombifier. I'll show you guys the concept in just a second. But anyway, that is going to be the first step in preparing for the massive excavation of this area over here. So everything you see here from about right here all the way to the ocean over there, I'm going to completely flatten out to make space for the rest of our plantation build. So first things first, let me show you the concept for the new Zombifier. So I've just popped over to my creative world, and here is the design for the Zombifier that we're going to use. So essentially, this rail is going to lead up to where our villager breeder is. And then after we find a villager whom we like their trades, we're going to send them down beneath the trading post into this is what I call the Zombifier. So right here we have a zombie, and I've given him a sharpness 5 diamond sword so that he can easily convert the villagers that we send down to him into zombies. So we have this little setup here that the villager's going to come through. They're going to get zombified right here. Then they're going to jump back into the minecart and come over here, and then in our design, we're just going to shoot them back up to the starting area where we will then cure them. So let me show you exactly how this works. We'll have the minecart come down with the villager. Let's push the villager in. The villager will then get zombified. And well, it looks like you got some armor there. They'll jump back into the minecart, and then we can do whatever we need to with that villager, which in our design, like I said, we're going to shoot them back up into the trading post and then cure them. This is not my design. This is a design that I found on YouTube. I will link in the description if you guys would like to build this for yourselves. So we finished building the Zombifier underneath the villager trading post. So let me take you on the quick tour real quick. The last thing that we need to get is, of course, the zombie into this little area right here. Let me get my Silk Touch pick out here so we can break through. So anyway, we're going to drop the villagers down into this little area right here. We're going to have the zombie chilling right there. They're going to get zombified, and then they're going to get shot back up right to where they started. I decided to cover up the area with a couple trap doors just to make it a little bit more safe, I guess, so we don't fall in. We can kind of walk up and down it, and of course these are transparent so the villagers can go through without hurting themselves. I also made a little access point around the back over here, and there is one more thing I have to show when we drop down as well, which is kind of convenient. First off, we'll drop down right here, and this is the little viewing area that I made to make sure that we are you know, good to go and that the thing is working. In case we have any issues, I can come down here and just kind of look what's going on. So the last thing we need to do is get a zombie into the system. And conveniently enough, if I break through, we actually have a cave that generated right behind our little area over here. So it should be easy enough to find a zombie somewhere within this cave and then kind of drag them through into the area over there. I just have to make sure that they are a zombie that can pick up items, because I do need to give them a sword to make sure that it is fast enough to zombify the villagers before they come back upstairs. So I'm gonna find a zombie. Call me a master jailer. We finally got a zombie captured and was able to throw him the diamond sword. So Lorenzo here, which I have named him, is going to be our zombifying zombie. Now let's pop back up to the trading post and show you what we have in store right now. So over here we have my efficiency 2 villager, and he's going to be our first candidate. Now just in case this doesn't work, there's nothing I can do about it. But anyway, this is gonna be our trial run. Hopefully it works. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna lead this guy down into the Zombifier. I'm pretty sure everything should be in place. And he is going to get zombified, and he's gonna come back up and end up right over here. And then we are simply just gonna push him back into place. And then I got my splash potion of weakness and my golden apples, and we are going to heal him up. So let me just get rid of this stuff real quick. If he hits me a couple times, I don't really care. It's not a big deal. But anyway, sir, it's been nice knowing you. We will see you when you turn into a zombie, hopefully. So let's just watch. Okay, he's been zombified. Fantastic. He should jump back into the cart. He jumps back into the cart, and he shoots back up. And there he is. Win is a success. So here we have him healing up. We got the splash potion of weakness and the golden apple. He should be healed up in a few minutes. I actually forgot to lay down some powered rails. I was going to lay down a few powered rails here so that we could get him back into his space, and we didn't have to worry about anything you know, getting out of order here, because I think once he heals, he's actually going to pop out of the minecart, and we might have to chase him around a little bit. There really should be no way for him to get out of here, and I think we're just going to chill down here until he heals up. Okay, he's now fully healed and back in his place, and check it out, we now have an efficiency 2 trade for 5 emeralds. So that significantly reduces the amount of emeralds we're going to need to get efficiency 5. We will need 8 efficiency 2 books to get an efficiency 5 book, which means we will need 40 emeralds, which is way better than 30 times 8, which is ridiculous. Yeah, so I don't mind paying that for efficiency 5. That is not that bad. But the next thing we're going to do, which is going to make it even a little bit more irrelevant, is we are going to convert our toolsmiths. This one's a little mad at me because I accidentally hit him. But we're going to convert our toolsmiths over so that we can get 1 iron per emerald trade, which is just going to get us a mass amount of emeralds. And then I want to fill up these remaining slots over here with the toolsmiths so that we can get tons and tons of emeralds every day with iron trades. So let's pop this guy down and we will convert him, and then we will convert a bunch more villagers, turn them into toolsmiths, and zombify them, put them in, and we will have tons and tons of emeralds with all of the iron that we're going to trade. But I'm going to go ahead and spend the time doing that, and I will catch up with you guys. Alrighty, we were able to convert 3 of these toolsmiths over to zombies and then trade them back, and we were able to get the 1 iron for an emerald trade, which is fantastic. So this guy over here, and finally this guy over here, we're able to get all the emeralds that we need from them. So we got all the emeralds that we had, and we traded all of those in for 8 efficiency 2 books, which we then combined into an efficiency 5 book. And now, to do the honors on camera, we are finally able to create our Silk Touch efficiency 5 pickaxe, which I have been waiting for so long. Alrighty, so that is about that, and now it is time to move on with the actual project. So let's pop up to the surface and I'll show you guys what we are working with. So with my brand new Silk Touch pick, we are now going to be able to flatten out this entire area and get a bunch of stone, because I wanted to stock up on stone. We don't have very much stone in my storage system, so that's why I wanted to get my efficiency 5 Silk Touch pick. But anyway, this entire area over here is going to be flattened down completely to about this level, and the plans for this area are a couple things. One, we are going to build massive silos, which we will house a few of our farms, probably sugarcane, bamboo, and pumpkin to start with. We may eventually do a few others as well. And beyond that, we're going to do a lot of decorating. We're going to do a lot of like wheat planted, because this is actually a plantation, as I have said, that is the theme for this season. So we're going to plant a lot of wheat down and just make it look really cool. We're going to build a lot of other stuff as well. But that means everything in this area is going to have to be either moved or just deconstructed. So my starter house, it has served us well, fortunately for us, but it is going to have to be deconstructed to make way for the future plans. We're going to have to move the sugarcane farm. We're actually probably just going to decommission this for now, because we are going to be building much bigger and more efficient ones in the future. And then, of course, our wheat farm. I think for this, I'm just going to move this somewhere inside of the mega base for now. Not sure where. I think we might build a little basement area for it, because I don't really want it in and I fall on you, camera. I say, I don't really want it chilling in the middle of the mega base. I have plans for all of the rooms in there, so we will find a spot for that. And then as for the AFK fish farm, I think we might leave that for now, but I don't think so. I think for that, we'll also move that into its own room in the basement of the mega base. The chicken farm as well, we're going to move into the mega base. And the nether portal can just simply be decommissioned, because we have our nether portal inside of the base. But anyway, I think it is time to get started with this project, with flattening out this entire area. And we're going to get started with the house probably and work away from there. But I'm going to do this in a time lapse. So I hope you guys enjoy. And here I am breaking a bunch of grass. Let's cue up the music. I hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse, and from up here we get a pretty good aerial view of the completely flattened area. The last thing I have to do is just move the chicken farm and the fish farm that we have in that little hill over there. That's something we can do a little later, because right now, the next thing I want to do is I want to start decorating the area a little bit. So the plans actually, these are the plans for the long run. So we want to build pathways, so kind of like a street, maybe. I don't really know how you would call it, a street or a pathway that kind of winds in and out between each of the builds that we're going to have in this area. We might have it cut behind the base over here. But anyway, it is a pretty sweet design that I have. I think what we're eventually going to do is we're going to put some sort of lighthouse or like beach house sort of thing off there on that little beachy area. We're going to have silos for all of our different farms and a bunch of other things. As soon as they come to me, I'm sure I will pop them into the world. But anyway, I'd like to show you guys the design I have for the street or pathway, whatever you want to call it. So let's pop over to the creative world. This is what I'm thinking in terms of the pathway for the plantation. So I'm going to build pathways like this that to help me navigate all throughout my build. And I think this actually looks pretty cool. So I wanted to incorporate some of the new blocks from 1.16. So we have basalt and blackstone bricks here. This is actually polished basalt. And I think it looks pretty cool. I originally used a lot of blackstone, and I think that it's too much black, and too much black actually clashes a bit with the white base. But the little bit of black that I have on here right now, I think it looks really cool. I think it complements it very well, and it kind of makes the light posts look, it kind of makes the light posts pop. The only thing I was considering changing, and this would be down the line, is replacing these basalt bases with gilded blackstone. The only reason I don't have that in there right now is because gilded blackstone is pretty difficult to come by. You gotta find bastion remnants. But I think that looks pretty cool. It adds a little bit more color and kind of matches better with the glowstone. I also chose to use glowstone over the shroom lights because the shroom lights are more of an orangey color and they don't really look that good. I can actually show you so you can see for yourself. But yeah, the orangey color I really don't think works. Yeah, it just doesn't look that great. The glowstone looks a little bit more natural and it blends in more with the birch. So yeah, this is what we're thinking. So eventually we'll hopefully have these sorts of paths winding all through our area, and it should look pretty sweet. So let's go ahead and put some of this in. And there's the beginnings of the path or road or whatever you want to call it for the build. So this is looking super cool if you ask me, and it looks like nightfall is just about to hit, so we'll get to see what it looks like without any of the natural light. So anyway, this is the same exact design that I just demonstrated in the creative world. I had to tweak it a little bit because I did have to add this turn here because we're obviously not going to build it out onto the ocean over there, and I'm gonna have to terraform this a little bit, maybe add a bit more sand, just kind of make it look a little bit more natural. So yeah, so a couple of issues we did have, I didn't really like the fact that the birch wood just kind of blended in with the oak wood over here, so I added in a few birch blocks just to kind of make it so that it breaks it up between the oak and the birch. Same thing on that side. So the idea here, once again, is you've got glowstone, which is going to be the main light source. The lanterns are a little too high to really add much light, so I did a little bit of checking, and in the centermost area away from the light sources is 9 light, which should mean that no mobs should ever be able to spawn anywhere inside of these fences, which is super cool. So why don't we go ahead and see what this thing looks like from the sky so that we can kind of see how this is going to be bringing the entire build together, and we can get a final shot of the flattened out area. And check that out. It looks pretty cool if you ask me from up above. And here is the flattened out area as well. And the sun sets on another fantastic episode of my survival series. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you enjoyed the episode and looking forward to future episodes, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell for notifications, and leave a like, please. If you guys do not mind, go ahead and put that thumbs up. And leave your comments down in the comment section. I haven't been getting quite very many comments from you guys lately, and I do appreciate your comments. I take them all to heart, and I'd love your suggestions on what you guys think of the build so far. And stay tuned for future live streams and future videos. I know we haven't done a live stream in a while, but I plan on doing a live stream very, very soon. And of course, it is the next month. It is now July 1st, the day that I'm recording this, and it is almost time for next month's parody, so stay tuned for that, ladies and gents. Thank you guys so much as usual, and I'll see you again. Bye.
Yeah, we are in the place to be.